when you grab a hold to it. What's up, everybody? Dean's having trouble with his microphone. Now,
Oh,
good. Is it good now? You good?
oh yeah. Is it good? Sound good? How
It
is it good?
sounds.
Good
It
sound?
sounds awesome. It
Ah,
sounds awesome. So we haven't been on for a week because I was in Florida.
mm-hmm.
I enjoyed my time in Florida, and I was not happy to come back to reality, also masquerading as cold weather. So yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
So how are things out there in Sedona?
It's warming up here. My wife wants chili so we can keep our wood burning stove going because she's got a writing desk right next to it in the living room. And she doesn't want it to warm up too quickly, but we're getting spring.
Awesome, spring is sprunging. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna do my little own protest about daylight savings time. I'm over it. They need to stop it. We all need to do like China and all be in the same time zone, even if we're like 3,000 miles away from each other.
Yeah.
Right there, right now for you, it should be 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Just leave it alone. All right. The whole country, in fact, the whole world on the same time zone. That way, when I say 3 o'clock, I don't have to say 3 o'clock Eastern. Okay.
Agreed. Agreed.
You're the best, Dean.
We're not all farmers anymore.
And we don't pretend to be either,
No,
unlike
no,
some of us that do pretend to be chicken farmers. Hey, Dean.
Yeah.
Let's talk today about hooks for content. Everybody talks about hook story offer for sales copy, but you ain't got to worry about a hook for your content, do you, Dean? Nobody gives a crap. They'll read it because it's amazing. They'll watch it because it's amazing. They will consume your content because it's amazing. We don't need no stinking hook.
Or do we? What do you think?
Wow. This is a change in Mr. Pickle. Mr. Pickle's now the inquisitive one.
I look to you, oh sage of copy.
There we go. We need hooks for everything if you want to grab attention.
Do we have to grab people's attention in order to have them watch our videos?
Do we, Mr. Pickle?
I don't know, Dean, but I'm thinking it might be yes.
Yeah, because what would happen if we didn't? If we didn't have something that would grab attention, if we didn't have somebody that would create some sort of curiosity or provoke or evoke an emotion, what would happen then, Jim?
Nobody would give a rat's patoot. No one would pay attention. No one would read. It would be the equivalent of a newspaper with no headlines, even though nobody reads newsletters anymore. So I can tell you, and I know you've been doing some cool stuff with hooks, but I wanted to show something that is a great example of having a really good hook and what a difference having a really good hook with your content can make.
Before you do that, pattern interrupt, open loop at the same time.
Wow.
So can you define for our audience what you mean by content?
So content is basically where you share value with people in the form of an article, a video, a meme, a graphic, an infographic, any type of stuff that you put out, usually on social media, Facebook, Instagram, your blog, email, newsletter, that kind of stuff. Value that you put out into the universe in order to have people pay attention to you in exchange for value. Because if people aren't paying you with money, they're going to be paying you with attention. So in the end, it's all transactional. You've got to give people a reason to pay attention. So is that a good
Yeah.
definition?
Just wanted to get that list of articles, blogs, vlogs, video, your newsletter, your email list that you're sending to.
Right.
Yes.
So
Content.
let me show you, and consistent content. That's the other thing. You can't just pop off once every few weeks and then expect everybody to think you're amazing. I don't really know anybody with their clothes on that is able to do that. So I want to show you something just to show you in like a real-time experiment of this. My whole life revolves around content and hooks. So this is my Instagram account. And, you know, it's one of those things where no matter what numbers I show, people will be like, oh, that's great. Or, wow, that sucks. Let me tell you, regardless of what the numbers say here, I'm doing okay. And as Dan Kennedy would say, regardless of whether you think these numbers are good or not, I'll still eat steak tonight. Okay. So that the point I'm trying to make is that this is not about the numbers, because there are a bunch of people that don't even come close to these numbers. And there are some people that crush this. Okay. I don't care. This is showing you one social media account to give you an idea of the numbers. Okay. So this is one that we posted today, like not too long ago. So it's got like 72 views. Here's one got 147 views. So look at the hook. Content idea hacks, 5 F words to success. Look down here. Does your list hate you? Look, 264 views. All right. Is email marketing dead? 390 views. So email marketing is dead, or is it? Okay. Tell unforgettable stories that sell. 202. I guess that's not amazing. Want to be a better hooker? 293. Questions asked for better case studies. 380. Make more sales with better proof. Again, these make sales skyrocket. 278. The greatest story of all time in 60 seconds flat. 373. This word made me millions. You think it's going to be higher or lower? I was almost called you Dexter. Okay. 565. Yeah. Look at that. So about double that average of something. Okay. This is like a game show. What do you think, Dean? The number one sales story you can tell to sell anything. What do you think? Higher, lower than average? Let's say the average is 250.
371.
1,400,
wow.
Almost 1,500. Yeah. Okay. All right. Word of the day, author. What do you think?
Oh boy. Well, man, that's high, because I think a lot of people would want
309. All right. 9 ways to make money with your own book.
Huge. 572.
913. All right. This is just creepy. It's just creepy. Yeah. How to be the expert in your niche.
Again, 371.
486.
Okay.
Become the number one hooker in your niche in 60 seconds.
Well, you showed me that one. That was in the 265 range.
2,289. So see, 10x.
Same
10x.
word, but different framing.
Right. 10x. So my point here is that the hook is everything. That's not to say that this content, I mean, my content is consistent. Okay. Hey, by the way, we busted 10,000. So I'm like, whatever that does for you. Well,
that's when you get somebody from Instagram them itself calling you.
Yeah, really trying to sell you stuff. So my point is that your content can be absolutely amazing, but if your hook sucks, no one's gonna open it, read it, watch it, consume it, let alone like it, share it, whatever. They're just not. Why? Because you don't even get up to bat. And the other thing is, if your hook is amazing, then your content can be okay. Like that was okay, but the hook pulled them in, and they're like, okay, yeah, okay, I might pay attention to what this weird dude with the weird beard is doing. And so the hook for most people is a total afterthought. Oh, I guess maybe I better do a headline because those weird dudes on Tuesday said we should. But it's everything, Dean. And I know you've been doing a lot with this lately, so I mean, I just kind of that was kind of fun. That was almost like a game show. It's like, hey, this dude, and we do that. It's like, I don't know which one this will do.
Right. And here's the thing: as marketers, we never know. We never know truly what our market is looking for. We can have an idea, but we can never assume, because the market will always surprise us.
Yeah.
Because you have to create compelling hooks. Oh, what's going to pique curiosity? What's going to pique, what's going to trigger an emotion? What's going to get people to click? What's going to get people to watch? And all we can do is, from our experience, is know or doing the research and seeing what it is. All of those things, and I'm sure, just because you've been doing this for so long, it's instinct now. It's like, it's habit. You go, oh, I have a good hook, and you just throw it up there. That's the beauty about social media, is that it's just churn, 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 and burn, right? So you're throwing these hooks up there, and then you can look and let the audience tell you, oh, they like this. See how I use hooker here? I got 265. And the way I use the word hooker in this headline, I got a 10x conversion. Why is that? Why? Oh, now I know the why. Let me try it with something else.
Because I have dirty-minded followers. That's why. That also got us to like 1,000 followers on TikTok, so that you can do. Apparently, when you get 1,000 followers on TikTok, you can do more outrageous stuff.
But nobody sees a lot of this stuff that you're doing. I mean, you're an outlier in that you're unafraid, and that's the other thing too. I mean, you have to be courageous to be a marketer. You have to have a stance and an opinion, not just to do it, but be who you are.
Right. So what are some things you've been doing? What are some things that you've been doing in the last little bit with some content hooks and stuff?
Right. So mine has basically been in the blogosphere and the email space, specifically writing for Dan Kennedy's products and services, and his podcasts and blogs. And as you know, that Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels is now purchased Dan Kennedy's company. So it's a very different voice than the ClickFunnels voice. So I get to have fun because, Dan Kennedy is known as, quote unquote, two things: the godfather of marketing and the world's grumpiest marketer. So I get to have fun and get to be, if you listen to Dan, he suffers no fools. He's a little acerbic. He's very cynical, sarcastic, right? There's a little bit of a curmudgeon to him. So
in other words, he's awesome, is what you're saying. Okay.
He is awesome. You pay attention to him. And the beauty about Dan is that if you listen to Dan, you'll notice that he doesn't just feed you information. The guy tells stories. He feeds you information through the most compelling vehicle on the planet, which is through story, which is through anecdote, which is through asides, right? That's how he teaches, which is total fun. And look at you. That's the opposite of Dan. Dan would have red horns, and a speared pitchfork and flames coming out of the side of his head.
His stories are amazing.
They are amazing. You just want to sit. It's like granddad telling you the bad grandpa. Yeah, and you're going, this is delicious because it's politically incorrect. It's, if you're easily offended, you don't want to. So that's the way I get to write. So I got a chance to write this headline for one of his blogs. And the subject line was, "What's that lump?" And your mind automatically goes to, the big C word, right?
Yeah.
But it's about the title of the blog is "The Power of Dimensional Mail in Small Business Marketing," which is lumpy mail. So
Nice.
that is, is it clickbaity? Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
But
where we are in this world now.
Is somebody going to open that email? Probably yes.
Can I say something real quick? That clickbait is only clickbait when you're pissed off after you click. Great marketing is the same as ClickBank if they're happy with what they see once they've clicked.
Oh yeah.
Think about that.
Yes, It's not writing sex in a headline and opening it up, and it's got nothing to do with that, right?
Right.
That's clickbait. That's deceptive.
Yeah.
Um,
So any thoughts or tips or advice on, other than using wizards, of course, to come up with amazing hooks?
so
Where do you look for hooks and stuff?
I will look for it inside the body. What's the content? What's the content? Because sometimes I'll have to go back and I'm going, what is it? For this one, I think I wrote the blog article first. I wrote the email to send people to this blog first, and then they're going, oh, that's it. It just came to me because Dan calls it dimensional mail, and as he's describing, going, oh, that's lumpy mail, and then
Right.
it hit me, oh, what's that lump? Because you don't know what it is when you get it in the mail. Oh, is it a pen from the VA? Is it a nickel? I feel like a coin is on this letter, or there's a paper clip, or it's a little garbage pail, or something that is in that package that you're getting when you're doing direct mail.
I love Dan's when he sends us stuff. It's kind of like mine. Let me tell you a quick story. That's like I can't now not say, hey, let me tell you a quick story about, it's ingrained. Okay. Dan's thing that he can't ever get away with. As you can see, I've sent you a dollar bill. As you can see, I've sent you a Tonka truck. As you can see, I've sent you a picture of a Tonka truck, whatever it is, as you can see, and then just goes right in.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I got to talk to my daughter. I just noticed something with these hooks.
Yeah.
I look like a reject from the Planet of the Apes on some of these things that she's doing. Look at my facial expression.
But that's the stuff that grabs attention, though. I mean, Russell will do that all the time. You catch somebody mid something where it's just unusual. It's not.
I look like I'm pooping.
Perfect. What's this guy crapping about?
Oh my gosh.
So you were asking, how do you find ideas for hooks? And most of the times it's right in front of your face.
Yep.
It really is. And if you're sending out a newsletter, you're thinking, what's this newsletter, this email newsletter, what is it going to be about? What's it going to be about? And you start writing.
Right. But you don't start saying anything until about 3 or 4 minutes later. That's when the good stuff starts coming out after you're warmed up.
Right. And it's a habit, though, because you learn that you don't have to start something at the beginning. I love starting mid-thought, as if, like, Robert Collier says, enter the conversation that's already going on in your prospect's mind. So why not write like that? Why not if you ever watch television or a movie, they don't start at the beginning. They start at someplace where you're either saying to yourself, what's going on, or you're leaning in and you're going, oh, what's happening here? Or, oh my gosh, it's surprising you. Watch any episodic, any TV show, any movie, and pay attention to how it starts.
Yeah, absolutely. And 2 shows that I'm watching right now that I know you like those shows. Last Kingdom has a 5th season now. Have you started watching that yet?
I have.
5th season of Last Kingdom. We watched the first one last night. It's amazing. And Outlander has the next season has started. Yeah. So the first one's come out. And all those things start with somebody either getting busted in the head with an axe, chopped in half, burned at the stake, running from Indians or something,
Exactly. Like with Outlander, this one I'm going, what the heck is happening? Yeah. For 5 minutes, I'm going, but since I've been with the show, I'm going, okay. Yeah. And then it hit me, then it going, oh, here. And I said to my wife, oh, this is why they set this up. And then they did this, right? They changed the scenes and you figure,
Yeah. And to make it even worse, if you've read the books, have you read the books?
I read the first one. My wife has read.
So if you've read the books, you're like, are they going to, because they keep weaving in the book and the other thing are not the same, but they keep crossing it. You don't know where they're going to cross. Stuff that took like 100 pages happens in 10 seconds. Yeah. So, which is cool, but that's another great hook. The hook isn't necessarily just the first, like the headline. The hook can be the first words that come out of your mouth, the first words that they read in the
Sure.
story, the first image that they see. The hook can be a lot of things.
The hook can be, if it's a compelling title for your blog or for your video, the hook can put it into the subject line. You don't have to get clever. If it's good enough to capture attention, throw it in.
Absolutely. And that's a great point you say, but usually it's right in front of your face. It's in the copy. When you and I do copy critiques, when we used to do the copy critiques for Funnel Fridays, when we do copy critiques for our Copywriters Inner Circle, when we do all that stuff, we both instinctively are like, okay, that kind of sucks. Let's start looking down here, and we're looking for the big idea, because it's like warming up from working out. I mean, you're not doing your heaviest bench press on the first rep. You got to do some push-ups and a little walking around and a little, scratching and itching and stuff before you start getting into it. It's the same thing. Your mind's got to get going. So the good stuff usually starts about 10, 15% of the way down the page. That's
and
where you start
I
looking.
recall you doing that quite a bit. You go down and go, oh, wait a second. If something stops you in the read not because you're confused, that you don't want. That's something to change. But if it's going, ooh, what's that?
Yeah.
Instinctively, you're going, let's move that to the top. Let's
Right.
make that a hook.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the big lesson from today, folks, is your content needs a hook. Just because you wrote it, just because it's amazing and angelic, and the clouds would part. Those are clouds. The clouds would part because of the amazing content that you created. If it doesn't have a hook, no one's going to read it. No one's going to watch it. No one's going to see it. No one's going to look at it. And you might as well have put on your hairnet, headed down to the restaurant and said those famous words. Would you like fries with that and perhaps a hot apple pie? That's the difference between success and failure. How good of a hooker you are. I'm Jim Edwards.
I'm Dean Edelson.
And we enjoyed bringing you the Jim and Dean Show. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.